tough shoes to fill.
Yeah, there's 12 minutes right there.
How expected that?
3 of them.
Are you ready, Tom? Give me a long time. 10 minutes. Yep, we're ready. Ready down this way? You ready down this way, Tom?
Oh, I'm sorry. It won't let me in, but okay, let's go.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. If you'd please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Supervisor Miller,
Right here.
Clerk Triplet here, Trustee Clee,
Yes, ma'am, present.
Trustee Campbell,
Present.
Trustee Burt,
Present.
Trustee Favdal,
Present.
and Treasurer Anderson.
Present. Thank you. Are there any additions or deletions to this evening's agenda? I believe number B, letter B is coming off
The resume, yes.
because he decided not to resign.
That correct.
Alrighty, so we're gonna delete action item B. I think that's all the changes in the agenda. Are there any corrections to the minutes from the quick last board meeting, March 7th, 2022? Hearing no corrections, all those in favor of approving those minutes from March 7th signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those,
Abstain. I wasn't here.
that's fine.
All right, so Trustee Clee,
Oh, I just did a roll call, so you don't have to.
so we have to do that.
No. So it passed with one abstention. And we'll move on to public comment. If you'd like to address the board, I'd ask that you'd come to the podium and give us your name, and you have 4 minutes to address the board. Anybody?
Get those pills out.
Dave Huffman. I have some comments I want to make about, unfortunately for Flint Township, these haven't been real good days for us as far as publicity with what's happened to the clerk's resignation out here and now the 2 felony charges by the Attorney General for the state of Michigan. And unfortunately, this hasn't just been a local thing. This has been a statewide thing, and this has been a national thing. I've had friends of mine, relatives from Indiana, Kentucky, friends of mine in Florida that have called me and said, what in the world is going on in Flint Township? It's not a real pretty picture, folks, and it's given this township a black eye. And it's a shame, I know, that you can't control people who are privileged enough to sit in public elected seats. You're always thinking they're above board. But it doesn't take too much, as you've seen here. When it collapses, it can go down like the Titanic. And this is what's happened here, and it's been a reflection of everybody in this township. And it's a shame that happens in the township. But you know, unfortunately, when you read the news, I mean, they've had problems on the state elections about some things that haven't been right. They've had it on the national scene where elections, there's been some real questions on vote counting and some things that have happened. And unfortunately, you get that stuff out in the news media, and then something like this happens here on the local level, it's doubly damning, because it just puts a question mark to everybody that's around elections. And I'll tell you another thing. I ran for office as a trustee this last election. And this is the election that was in question that supposedly there was some real corruption that went on. That's been the charges, of course, in this country. You're not guilty until proven guilty. So that's still up in the air, too. But anybody that ran in that election last time, I don't care if they were running for supervisor, I don't care if it was trustee, I don't care what the position is, it puts a real question in people's mind. Hey, were those results, were they really the right results from what we saw? Was the vote count that I got, was that on the up and up? Was the vote count that any of the trustees that got beat in the primary, in the Democratic primary, was that on the up and ups? I mean, this throws this whole thing into a gray cloud, and you know, the question marks that come out of everybody, it's never going to be the same, okay? So it's like a domino effect. Once you hit one domino in something like this, it goes right down through the system. And I spoke at the Genesee County Board of Commissioners meeting this last Thursday. on this very subject too, where now you have a township clerk that has hired our ex-clerk in knowing that she was under state police investigation and hired her to be ahead of all of Genesee County elections. What kind of message does that give the people of this county, in this township, to see that kind of nonsense? And I spoke on it, and they made a resolution down there that night that they want her removed, a leave of absence. They don't even want her down there touching anything with elections. So I want to tell you, this thing, it's boomeranged. It's all over the media. It's all over the county. And hopefully, maybe, no matter what happens, it'll result in some good things. Maybe people will take these jobs a little more serious when they run, knowing the ramifications. When you do illegalities, when you're an elected public official, there's going to be ramifications. So that's my message for what it's worth. But I just want to let you know, as far as public relations, this hasn't been the best few days for Flint Township. Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to address the board?
Roger Powell. I would just like to reiterate what Dave almost said, but didn't come across strong enough. You are innocent until proven guilty. There are allegations against her, but they're not proven. And I would hope that he, along with everybody else in this building, realizes that. I don't know she's guilty. I know she's innocent until proven guilty. Thank you.
Thank you, Roger. Is there anyone else who'd like to address the board?
My name is Gerald Roberts, 4487 Lundywood Drive, Swartz Creek, Michigan. I'm a veteran. I'm a conservative. I'm a born-again Christian. What's happening in this country right now is a catastrophe. I don't like to be lied to. And time again, I hear on the news bold-faced lies that are being told to the citizens of this particular country. I'm a person that does not believe in abortion. I believe that people that are in the position, in other words, to vote for Planned Parenthood, where taxpayers' money is being basically distributed to abortion clinics for the murdering of babies, is wrong. I believe at one point in time, this particular country had a good Democratic Party and a good Republican Party, and there was good conversation and good debate between those parties. The Democratic Party that it used to be in the 60s, 70s, and I'll even say 80s, has been hijacked. It's been hijacked by liberals. Want to make this country socialism, communism. Maybe as a veteran, if I had to go to war and they told me tomorrow that I had to go pick up my rifle and go back down to the National Guard Army and we're going to take this country back, I'd be there in a second. When you start voting, I've always been a firm believer in voting for the person, not the party. I voted for people on both sides that I felt were qualified. When you know that a person is going to be voting for Planned Parenthood, which murders babies, that puts you as an accessory to the fact of that child in abortion being killed. I can't feel any other way. than that. I know we have the women's movement that's out there. My particular church went out and tried to support people, in other words, where we believe the right to life. They were at a corner. People were getting the finger for supporting that. There's a difference between right and wrong. Happened to be in church probably about 3 or 4 Sundays ago. There was a little article there. Said across the United States today, we have more atheists in this country than we have Christians. Think about that. And think about what's happening right now. The difference between right and wrong. I think we're in a struggle. And I think that at a point that people can't see what's going on. In the Bible, it says, unless you've been touched by the Holy Spirit, your eyes are closed. Maybe these people, I've asked my wife, maybe that's what's happened. You haven't been touched by the Holy Spirit. This is a dyed-in-the-wool Democratic area right here. It's been Democratic for years. But it's changed, folks, from the 60s and 70s.
Thank
It's
you,
got
Mr.
liberal,
Roberts.
and the liberals have taken over the mindset of our leaders.
Thank you, Mr. Roberts. Is there anyone else who would like to address the board?
William Newsome. Just had a thought there. I know it's probably online somewhere. I just hadn't looked. But do you know when yard waste collection begins?
In April.
April 7th.
April.
1st, first weekend in April.
Sometime
The
in
first,
week in
the
April.
first Thursday when you set it out, Thursday's the normal day.
Oh, it's-
7th.
April 7th, yeah.
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to address the board? No? We'll move on to reports. I don't have a report for us this evening. Madam Clerk, a report?
No reports.
Madam Treasurer?
No.
Trustees? No. Chief Salter?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I'll make it very brief. Since our last meeting, your police department has responded to over 1,200 calls, including that is 81 business checks, 53 residence checks, and 160 traffic stops. Else for the 2 weeks, except I have one item for the agenda.
Thank you. Chief Beckley?
Thank you. Mine will be brief also. Since the last board meeting, we have responded to 40 alarms. Included in that is 3 vehicle fires, one of which is under investigation right now, and then 6 PI accidents. Also, the last 2 weeks, we have been training on extrication from vehicles with the Jaws of Life. You'll probably see some damaged vehicles behind the fire station down here. That's what that is. So last week and this week, we will be training in that. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Mrs. Tucker, do you have a report for us this evening?
Just a couple of things. We have in the clerk's office, we welcomed Radana to working with us, and she did complete all the AV applications, have all been sent out to our AV list. We're receiving those back right now. We're supposed to pick up our supplies from the county tomorrow. We did receive ballots in today, so we're gonna start getting those tested. So that's been going along fairly well. We also will have ballots available to the public this Thursday. And so that's all going good in the clerk's office. In the DDA, I want to thank Carol, has been working with me to get the bunny trail done. We have 36 participating stops that will start this Friday and run through April 3rd. And then on April 7th, we'll be having an egg drop scramble where we will have, the eggs will be dropped from a fire truck onto the grass by HAP. And we have, there's gonna be age group areas for the kids, and they'll be able to get their eggs and their prizes at that time. So it's 5 to 7 on April 7th for the egg drop, but the bunny trail itself is going from March 25th through April 3rd. And the next thing that will be on our calendar that we'll start working on will be the Pick It Up, Make Difference, the anti-littering campaign. And so we'll start working on that. We do have the egg drop road closure agenda for this evening. We also have the master plan, the zoning update. That's moving forward. The public hearing for that will be in, at the April, I believe it's the 14th. And so that will be the next thing up on that issue. So that'll get us that much closer to our redevelopment ready certification. That's it.
Thank you. As far as committee reports, I know John is the secretary of the Road Advisory. John Whiteside had a report from Metro Alliance.
Good evening, Township Board.
Good evening.
As the supervisor said, I'm also the appointed one of the representatives to the Genesee Metro Alliance. In our meeting this past Wednesday, Alec Patsy from Genesee County Road Commission gave a report, pretty lengthy report on stuff. And what I did is I took the stuff out of it pertains to Flint Township. So I'm going to go through some of that, highlight some of the roads on that we wouldn't be aware of because the county's paying for them. So first one is off the list of funding using the 2022 federal aid roadway projects. And they're going to be doing Lennon Road from Linden to Dutcher. And that will be an asphalt resurfacing. It'll be a light resurfacing. And then you'll see Beecher Road, Graham to the city limits. Excuse me. And that's asphalt resurfacing and a road diet. I got a little more information on that in a little bit. You're going to be doing Flushing Road from El Dorado to Ballinger Highway, and that's also a resurfacing and a road diet down to 3 lanes. They plan to be working on the Bristol Road Bridge over Swartz Creek. That was a rehabilitation project that was awarded in 2021. And according to Alex Patsy, he said they ran into some issues when they pulled the steel beams out of there. They were worse than what they expected to find, so they had to order new steel beams. And with the times, they weren't able to get them. He said we should see some movement on that real soon. The second is primary road pavement, and that's a repair and chip and fog seal. They're going to be doing Lennon Road from Elms Road to Dye Road. And they're going to be doing River Road from Potter Road to Beecher Road. And then the next set of roads that I have, or next set of category is just chip and fog seal. They're going to be doing Elms Road from Calkins Road to Potter Road. They're going to be doing Maple Road from Linden Road to Jennings Road. They're going to be doing Elms Road from Swartz Creek all the way out to Lennon Road. They did the section from Lennon out to Corona last year. Going to be doing Torrey Road, that's from Maple to the Flint city limits, and they're going to be doing Beecher Road from Elms Road to River Road. And then the other primary road projects, this is guardrails they're going to be replacing. And there's a guardrail on Elms Road over Mud Creek, and I had looked that up, I wasn't sure where Mud Creek was. It's down between Beecher and Calkins. I think there's a dip in there and it goes under the road there. And then on Pasadena Avenue, there's I believe it's Hartshorn Drain. And that's just west of Linden Road on Pasadena, and that's technically still Flint Township. And then he mentioned special assessment districts, the commercial ones, and in that is the Holiday Drive, which is a special assessment district number 3, and then Austin Parkway Special Assessment District 3, and then he mentioned the Flagstone Point. And then he talked about the local roads, which was, and I took it out of his report, and this was for Flint Township with road millage and 50/50 and block grants. And that's Lavelle Road, Flushing to Pasadena, which this board has approved doing these. Mackin Road, Lavelle to city limits. Concord Street, Lavelle Road west of the end. And then Ramsgate, from Calkins southerly is about 750 feet. As I mentioned about the Beecher Road project, there is going to be a meeting, a special meeting this Wednesday, the 23rd. At the Township Police Station from 6 to 7. And they're looking for input from residents on that whole plan, resurfacing and taking it down to a 3-lane road. The cost is around $800,000 just for that piece of project. And it's all funded through federal highway safety improvement money and some from the Genesee County Road Commission. And from a previous Metro meeting, there was talk about the roundabouts that they talked about last year. 2 of them were designated in Flint Township, and one is the Elms and Lennon one, and the other is Elms and Beecher. And those are projected in the 2026 year. So that's several years out. Who knows what will happen between then and now. So finalizing all their numbers, this is total Genesee County, not just Flint Township. The total Genesee County, the federal aid projects are about $18,200,000. Primary roads, $7,500,000. Local roads is $10 million. Large culvert and dam projects is $3,300,000. So in total, Genesee County is spending about $39 million on road repair. And I have there's some more breakdown on some of those costs, but that's my report tonight. Just
Thank you very
wanted
much,
to bring it
John.
to you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Thanks for attending those meetings. Madam Clerk, do we have any correspondence or informational items?
We,
Oh, that's under, that's our first action item. So,
Nothing.
other than that, nothing?
Nothing.
I skipped over 8. Sorry, Madam Treasurer.
That's okay.
Did you want to pay the bills?
I do want to pay the bills. Before I pay the bills, though, Chief Beckley, you mentioned the training. Is that the training that you talked about the other day that we could sit in?
Yes,
on?
it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. I can get you guys the days and times. It'll be the next 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because you said the community, if they wanted to attend, they could
Yes, yep.
kind of be a witness to that as well. Let them know what we would be
Yeah.
witnessing if we wanted.
Yep. So basically, what we're going to be doing here the next 3 days, tomorrow evening at 6:30 p.m. and then Wednesday and Thursday at 9 a.m. We will be having our personnel do training on vehicle extrication.
Volunteering.
That will be right here behind station number 1. Might be a little bit after those times I just listed, maybe 15, 20 minutes after that before we actually get started. But if anyone wants to a safe distance there, it is open to the public to watch and see kind of what we do with the Jaws of Life and all that good stuff. So
Thank you very much.
yeah, thank you.
And Madam Treasurer was volunteering if you needed any volunteers.
Come on down.
I want to witness. I will be there.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to pay bills in the amount of $242,135.63 and to acknowledge tax disbursements in the amount of $192,596.66 for a combined total of $434,732.29.
And that's your motion?
Yes.
And is there a second to the motion?
Support.
Any questions for Madam Treasurer? Madam Clerk, roll call, please, on the motion to pay the bills in the amount of $242,135.63, acknowledging disbursements and payment of bills in the total of the disbursements were $192,596.66 for a total of $434,732.29.
Righty. Clerk Triplett, yes. Trustee Clee?
Yes.
Trustee Campbell?
Yes.
Trustee Vert?
Yes.
Trustee Fabdahl?
Yes.
Treasurer Anderson?
Yes.
And Supervisor Miller?
Yes. Action item A is to adopt the Genesee County Hazardous Mitigation Plan for Flint Township. You have it before you. A motion is in order to move forward. This comes from the county.
Anderson moves that we adopt the Genesee County Hazard Mitigation Plan update as presented.
Is there a second to the motion?
Support.
Any questions or discussion?
That was clear.
Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the updated plan signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? Wonderful. Move on to action item C. Did you want to give us,
Sure. When you apply for any work in the right-of-way or in the roadway, you have to have a resolution from the municipality approving that. This is for Health Source Boulevard there, that little road that runs between Shea and Hat. Where we are looking at having the fire truck parked to drop the eggs will be between the driveways. So the public will still be able to get to the businesses, but they won't be able to go around the curve. So we'll have that section blocked off during the egg drop. And that's so we'll close it at 4:30 so that the fire truck can get set up. And then the event ends at 7. So we're just looking for an approval from you for us to make that application.
someone want to make the motion to approve the resolution closing Health Source Parkway Boulevard from 4:30 PM to 7 PM on April 7th?
I'll make that motion. I'll make the motion to approve the closure of Health Source Boulevard from 4:30 to 7 p.m. on April 7th of 2022 for the Bunny Trail and the Egg Drop Scramble.
We have a motion, and are you seconding the motion?
Yes,
Trustee
ma'am.
Klee?
I will.
Any questions or discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the resolution to close Health Source Boulevard from 4:30 to 7 on April 7th signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? That's done. Move on to action item D. Did you want to speak on that, Chief Salter?
Yes, ma'am, I can real quick. As you see in your packet, Jenna Starbell is resigned, or was resigning March 18th, which is Friday. She's volunteered to work
Chief.
part-time.
We can't hear you.
Pull the mic up closer,
Pull the mic up,
please.
please.
Yes.
Thank you.
The board can't hear me? So, thank you, that was my information. Go. I'm sorry, I talked for 10 minutes. No, Jenna's resigned to take a position in Lapeer County, starting today. I'm asking the board for permission to hire a clerical 3 position for her to replace her. In the past, I know the board has given the personnel committee the right to hire instead of coming back to the board again. This is a budgeted position for our police department for 2022. I'm asking for the same thing again.
Go ahead.
I say Clee would move to accept Chief Salter's request to replace the clerical 3 position as per stated and with the previous practice in place.
Is there a second to the motion?
Campbell, a second.
Any questions, discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, roll call, please, on the board approving Chief Salter to hire a budgeted clerical 3 position. And is that position the secretary to the lieutenants?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes. Treasurer Anderson?
Yes.
Trustee Fabdahl?
Yes.
Trustee Burt?
Yes.
Trustee Campbell?
Yes.
Trustee Klee?
Yes, ma'am.
Clerk Triplett? Yes.
That's you.
And Supervisor Miller?
You're looking at me. Yes.
Going to you next.
Sorry, Manya. So, any announcements maybe that our next meeting is going to be, is that April 4th? April 4th here at 6 p.m. And if there's no objection and no further business, we'll call the meeting adjourned.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey, she's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch, that'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.